Okay, so since we're painting and upgrading some areas in the house, I just wanted to show you another easy way that you can make things look a little nicer. So I am going to be changing out some of the door handles as I'm painting. I'm going to show you today two that are very easy to switch out. The first one is a passage, which is just for a closet door. So I'll show you how to take that off. We'll paint and then we'll put a new one on. All you gotta do, unscrew the screws. Very basic stuff. Do not need to be a handyman to do this. Passage lock is just on the one side, so as you can see, it's coming off real easy. And then you can go ahead and paint that section and put the new one on. This one is a regular door handle that goes between bathroom doors or bedroom doors, so it does have a lock on it. Same basic principle, just go ahead and loosen your screws. You do have the other handle on the other side, so you kind of want to hold on to it so it doesn't fall off when the screws come out. But again, very basic. Nothing complicated that you need to call somebody to do this for you. Outdoor locks and deadbolts are a little more complicated, but still not much different from this. By upgrading your door handles, you can make them all the same, which will make your house look a lot nicer. You can give it whatever look you want. But a lot of older houses, like mine, have multiple different kinds of door handles that have been changed out over the years, so I just want mine to all be the same. The new door handles are not that expensive. You can get a lot of different brands, but most of them are going to be $20, $30, nothing major. And there's very long screws in here. You want to make sure you have your door open when you're doing this, because if it is closed, you're going to have to adjust the tab to be able to get out of the door, which isn't a big deal, but it's easier just to have the door open, be able to hold everything. Okay. Just about there. Alright, so we got our handle off. I'm holding the other handle up on the other side. That side's out. Now you have your centerpiece here. If for some reason you did accidentally lock yourself in, you can always push in here to be able to release yourself. But I'm going to pull this out. Some of the handles will have screws on this side, so you may have to take that off too. But we're going to go ahead and paint the door, and then we will put on some new handles. Okay, so now that we've painted our door, we're going to go ahead and put on our new lock set. The new lock set is installed a little differently than the old one. So the old one had the two screws horizontally. These two are going to be vertically. So they did include a sheet that shows how to position them. So what I did was I went ahead and I cut it out and made a hole for each of the screw positions. That way I can make sure that it's easy to install to put the new holes in the wall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually hold this up on the door. I'm going to use my level, and I'm just going to make sure that I position it level prior to sticking it on the door so that I can get the correct position. Again, very easy to do, but important so that it looks right. This particular knob doesn't move. It is just a passage into the closet, but it still looks good if it is level. So once I get it level, I can go ahead and tape it up. And this is the position that I'm interested in. I'm going to take my doorknob and just make sure that yes, this is where I want it. And that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to mark the holes that are going to be drilled. I'm going to make sure that I can see my marks prior to taking it off. So those are where I'm going to mark and drill my new pilot holes. So then I have my drill set up. I have a bit that is smaller than the screws that are going to go into it. And we're going to go ahead, drill our holes so that we can easily put this in. Alright, that was easy enough. So then we're going to grab our handle and get it started. So we're going to position on top because it's easiest to see. Get that screw in there. Try to make sure it goes in straight. And once you get it in a little ways, you can go ahead and grab your second screw. That one's already in a good position. So we're going to get that one going. And then you just tighten it up, nice and simple. So really the only tools you needed were a drill, a simple bit, and a screwdriver. Get that on there nice and tight. Almost there. And then tighten the top one in. All right, and it's done. Looks gorgeous, much better than the old one. So I had to do a little bit of extra work to get the middle centerpiece in. The old lock, the hole was a little bit too narrow, so I took a file and I went ahead and just cleaned it out until I was able to get this in, tapped it a few times with the hammer. So it is now in, ready to go, and it functions. So we are going to take our lock set. Again, we have the outside portion where it has the little emergency pinhole and the inside version with the lock, and we're going to go ahead, open it up. Very simple. You just put the piece in and you take your other side, line up the center, line up the holes, and you are lined up ready to go. Then you take your screws, get them started. It's usually easiest to do that by hand. And sometimes you gotta wiggle them around a little bit to find the spot in there, but I know that they're lined up inside, so it's just a matter of getting them started. And I'm gonna do that here. Once you get one started, then you can grab the other one, get that one going as well. Before we put them all the way in, I like to test it, make sure everything functions, because Murphy's Law, if you don't, You're gonna have to take it back apart. So now I'm gonna go ahead and finish them up. Again, this is just very simple stuff that you can do. Again, it's an easy way to update the look of your house without spending a fortune. A lock like this, you're probably going to look at about $25-30, but it's going to make everything look nicer. We're just about there on this one. Make sure it's nice and snug. Alright, last piece is your faceplate that goes on the door jamb. So again, that's really easy. It's just going to fit on the door jamb. 2 screws, nice and easy to put together. And I'll put that in a minute, but we're going to go ahead and test the door. And I'm not locked in, so we are good.